We're going to remove the transmission from a Porsche Boxster. But this isn't just one of those shots where I show you how to do it from inside the car. I've actually got the engine and transmission out of the car, so you get a good view of exactly which bolts you need to remove, where they're going to be, so you can make a template and easily put them back in the right spot. You're also going to need some special tools, so we'll show you that. Go ahead and pay attention, break out your pencil, or we'll put it in the show notes. You probably have a general clue of how to remove things if you got this far, but right here we're going to show you all the tools you're going to need to remove the actual transmission casing from the engine case. So here, this is the ticket. This is a special use tool. This is OTC brand. These are just cheap. They're available on Amazon. I'll link them in the notes. They're XZN, super short. That's important. We've got 1/4 inch and 3/8 drive. You're going to need one of the smaller or mid-size ones for this job. We've already got that attached right here. So this is a breaker bar, just a standard 3/8 inch breaker, because you need more clearance than most ratchets are going to give you right here. But here you've got your XZN. You can kind of see this is called a triple square. See if it'll focus. There we go. It's a little bit odd. Most people don't have it. Super low clearance where you're going to have to use this. So you'll see it. This is a 16 standard ratchet. You'll use that for most of the big heavy duty bolts. And you're also going to need one 15mm wrench and a 10mm for the small bolts on top. So right now we're going to show you exactly where the bolts are you need to remove. Some of these are pretty obvious. We'll go ahead and start with the most obvious and possibly also the most dangerous. Don't forget these two. Simple 10mm, super easy. That's pretty much common sense. All right, so the big bolts do most of the heavy lifting on the transmission. Got those two. And then you've got a 16 right here. Recommend a 3/8. Get in there a little bit better. Got another one right here. And when you come around to the other side of the transmission, got another 16 right here, another 16 right here. If that seems like a weird size for you guys, well, Porsche engineers love 16s. They also love 13s. If you're used to working on Japanese cars like I originally was, and that's going to seem super weird to you, because the Japanese like keeping 10, 12, 14, and then the bigger ones mix it up a little bit. All right, so here is the hard one to get to. See if we can get a good shot of it. There, you get a better shot right there. So this one is where you use your triple square. This is a no discussion kind of tool. You absolutely need the triple square. Now, it'll be super obvious. They only make these in so many sizes. I believe this is a 40. But, all right, that was taking a little bit to get started. So the reason why you're going to need the breaker on this is the super short triple square. As you can see, I can barely get this in here. So I've got this pre-loosened, so it's going to come right out. It's important to make sure that you've got the triple square firmly in there before you start turning. These kind of sockets, they're real easy to booger up the bolt. You don't want to do that because you're in a bad spot if you mess that one up, because as you can kind of see probably from the lighting, it's hard to reach. So you've got the 4 16mm, those two 10s that are bright and obvious on the top, and the triple square out of the way. You've got one last one. You're going to need a 15mm wrench back to kind of a more normal size. You're going to need a wrench on this one because you can't fit a socket in there. Again, this one's facing this way towards the transmission from the engine. So remember, you're going to remove it like this. Don't make the mistake of trying to go the other way. All right, we're back. So I went ahead and got the boring part done of actually removing all the bolts. Now, I make a template like this. This is a time-honored tradition for backyard mechanics, and professional guys do it this way too, unless you've just done it so many times you remember. But this is an important one to check out. So this is the top of the engine. You got these two 10s. You've got 4 16s. Now the reason why you need to pay attention to where they go is that this one right here has a washer. If you're looking at the back of the engine with the transmission removed, it'd be the top left 16mm bolt has a washer. This one, and this one do not. Now here you've got that 15mm oddball nut that was facing in towards the transmission, and here you've got your XZN triple square bolt right there, socket head cap screw actually, I believe. So there's a template. Eventually, I'll do a PDF download of this. Maybe just put the link in the show notes there, so check that out for sure. Now here, if we cruise over to the actual engine transmission section, we can see, now I separated this ever so slightly. Now, again, you should just count those bolts to make sure you're good to go as far as that's concerned. And you'll see a slit in here, and if you've got all the bolts, again, super easy to count them up, just 8. If you don't have 8 bolts removed, you missed something, or the last time somebody had the transmission off, they didn't do it right. And you literally just easily should be able to separate it. No force whatsoever. If there's force, something's stuck up, maybe whack it a couple times with a dead blow, then double check your bolts. So this is the view you should see once you've got the transmission pulled away from the engine. Like I said, it should pull off nice and easy. Just want to make sure you have the transmission supported. If you got it out of the car like this, a furniture dollar is a good way to go. Or if you have a transmission jack, that'll work too. You'll have to have the engine a little bit higher. I have these on the ground, seeing as how this engine's about to come apart. But that's it. It should slide out really easily once you have those 8 bolts removed. Shouldn't take much at all. Just be gentle and double check everything if it's got a little bit too much resistance.